Bowman Gray Stadium is like motorized insanity around a football field.
It's explosive energy that you feel inside that race car.
This place has so many things that make it special, but really it's the fans. 16, 17,000 people, they bring an energy to this place that you don't see anywhere else.
They don't call it the Madhouse for nothing.
You push a man the wrong way and you mess with something that he's passionate about, you might not get the answer you're looking for. What are we doing? You just, nothing?
There's a fine line of, am I gonna just let this go and be the bigger person and we're gonna go racing, or I need to stand up for myself.
Whether they love me or they hate me, they're still coming there to watch me. The definition of insanity is if you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, you're insane.
Bowman Gray Stadium has a history that's really unrivaled. It's unmatched. The first event ever at Bowman Gray, believe it or not, was a Mozart concert. In 1939, they actually held an exhibition midget car race on the cinder track around the football field, but it was a disaster. It tore up the place, so racing went away for a while until 1947 when a promoter made a deal with the city. Hey, pave the racetrack around the football field and I'm gonna hold some midget races. And he did that, but he skipped out and he left the city holding the bill for the pavement job. This made for an opportunity, and along came a guy named Alvin Hawkins and his good friend, the founder of NASCAR, Bill France. And in 1948, they struck a deal where they would pay for the remaining bill for the pavement if they could hold races here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And they did just that, and that's where NASCAR racing was born, at Bowman Gray Stadium. And since 1949, we've been running NASCAR races here, making it the longest running weekly series track in NASCAR history.
The city's very blessed to have a dual-use facility. It's a football stadium and a racetrack, which is very rare for any municipality to have. In Winston-Salem and surrounding counties, it's the thing. You know, the high schools are saying, when's Bowman Gray starting? When's Bowman Gray starting? It's kind of the place to be. It's the activity to be. You can't describe it. You got to come watch it. You just got to come watch it. It's a bucket list thing. Well, that's what I say. You better come quick. We're about to sell out, so come on over.
I love Bowman Gray.
I come up here every summer from Florida. The first time I remember coming was 60 years ago today, April 23rd, 1962.
It's nothing like anywhere I've ever raced in my life, where you see people show up over there on Saturday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning to go put blankets out where they're going to sit that night, and you damn best not sit there. They will fight you.
They don't call it the Madhouse for nothing.
You might need to idle this thing down a hair too, Jamie. Go ahead and do our adjustments first. Right here's a good tire temp. Right now we don't know where our car is. We feel like we're gonna be good, but until we get out there and can run in the groove where we need to be fast at, we don't know. No, this is business as usual for us. No different than punching in at work on Monday morning. You know, you've had the weekend off and now you're here to do your job. They say racing's in your blood. You know, that may be taking it a little too far. I think you're a product of your environment, and racing was all we ever knew. I've done things that I'm not proud of at Bowman Gray Stadium.
What's the art to moving somebody without wrecking?
Depends on who it is.
Anybody can get in my race car and run over people to go win the race. If you catch me and you pass me without knocking me out of the way, without wrecking me, you're pretty badass. Anybody can run into me and knock me around. It's easy to run over the guy in front of you when he lets off the brake for the corner. If you don't, you just knock him out of the way. That's chicken shit. Anybody can do that.
If we're in the grocery store and you run your shopping cart into the back of my leg, don't you think that's gonna make me mad? And I'm gonna turn around and say, hey man, what's your problem? I'm the same way in the race car. We've had some rough spots here and there. If history repeats itself, I got a feeling I'll be battling that 83 car again this year.
Under yellow on FloRacing. Oh, Amberlin wrecks them.
They're mad at the Madhouse. Now they're face to face, no helmets.
Well, it seems like the first time you get knocked out of the way that these guys are wanting to wait and run over each other. Personally, I'd rather go out in the middle of the infield and let's fight it out. If you're sitting in the stands, it's definitely a Madhouse, because I tell people, even if the racing's not good, you'll be entertained. There are so many things that make it the Madhouse, but once you see it in person, I think you fall right into the lap of why they call it that.
I grew up less than a mile away from Bowman Gray Stadium. I mean, right off Sprague Street. That was the family home, and we could stand on our porch on Saturday nights and hear the modifieds roaring. There's a lot that goes into racing, and I think my parents helped me understand that even at a young age. When you roll out on that track, 16,000 people are there on opening night. You just look around for a second. You kind of forget about the nerves, you forget about the task at hand for a second, and you just really let that sink in and appreciate it. Quite a few years ago, a couple guys got into a wreck, and one guy tried to climb in his car, and he literally gassed up going down the backstretch, and the dude was hanging on the side of his car flying, going down the backstretch, while this car was going like, 30, 35 mile an hour or whatever. I'm just sitting there thinking like, what is wrong with these people? And I'm one of these people, I mean, I'm trying to think about last year though, Carson, because when we pitted before, that actually made us tighter when we came back out. Remember that? If you don't put in the work in the shop and get that thing dialed in and really massage on her throughout the week, you're not going to go over there and compete. And you better not think you're going to either, because you're going to be sadly disappointed. That is, and I'd say that's 80-90% of the battle, is getting this thing ready in the shop and having good guys around you to help you get that thing right. Because if you don't have that, man, you're so far behind the eight ball, you might as well not even go.
My grandpa had race cars racing there as I was a kid growing up. So I've gone there since I was a little kid, like a toddler, and I knew from that age that I wanted to race. Fortunately, when I turned 19, I had enough money to buy a car and go start racing at the stadium. And I had my grandpa with me, my brother with me, and some of my family members with me to go do it. And then it made it even more special, because now I'm actually getting to race at the place I grew up watching my grandpa's cars race, and now I'm actually getting to race there. And then lo and behold, 30-some years later, I've won more championships and more races and more poles and led more laps than anybody in the history of the place, which is asinine to me. I just wanted to do it. Never dreamed I'd be good at it.
So what's it take to go fast there?
Big balls.
The first time I got to drive around Bowman Gray, I was 15 years old. I climbed in my dad's street stock car, got to make some laps. So that was a pretty cool experience, way different than what I thought it would be growing up watching everybody go around that place. I've won at tracks all across this country, and there's nothing compares to winning at Bowman Gray Stadium. Bowman Gray is a very unique racetrack. You don't always have to have the best race car. It doesn't always have to be the fastest race car there that day. You just kind of got to refuse to lose. Burt Myers, him and I, we have a long past. We've raced together for many, many years. 2/3 of the time, I couldn't stand the guy. I kind of thought he had a chip on his shoulder, and I just didn't really care for him. Anytime we was around each other on the racetrack, we'd run into each other. use each other up on the track, whatever it took. We've come a long way, I'll just say that. Our relationship's come a long way. Right now, I have less than 24 hours to have a brand new race car that I've never sit in on the racetrack. Matter of fact, yeah, I gotta go. Y'all on your own. New everything's always exciting. My favorite part. A long ways to go. I'm not going to give up. I'm excited now. We finally got the thing running. Got that little smell of race gas, so I'm pretty pumped up to get the thing put together now.
The season opener at Bowman Gray Stadium is unique. It's kind of like NASCAR's Cup Series. They start with the biggest race of the year, the Daytona 500. Here at Bowman Gray Stadium, they start with the biggest race of the year, the Hayes Jewelers 200. Thank y'all for what y'all do. Bye, buddy.
If there ain't but 21 cars, he's definitely gonna start and park that car. That's what I meant.
Y'all boys don't read the board. I mean, everything you want's on the board out there. It's out there. Just go read it. That's it. It's out there. Thank y'all for coming. We're good.
So they're skipping us in the tire draw. We had a driver's meeting. I gotta go. What'd he say? They're skipping us. Bull crap. We had a driver's meeting during practice, and then we picked tires during the driver's meeting. Every week we draw for the order that you pick your tires. Today's probably not that big a deal because pretty much everything in there is the same. But on a weekly basis, if there's tires that maybe have been sitting on this truck all week versus some that he put on the back door at the end of the week, the ones that's been in the truck and gotten hot and cold maybe ain't as quite as good as the ones on the back. So you want to make sure that you get a good draw and get in there and get your tires. Well, they came in there and told me that they skipped me because I wasn't out here, but they also had a mandatory driver's meeting that I had to be at. So I can't be in the same place at both times. Third row up, on the left, on the very bottom.
They got your number on it? I think I got yours.
You did? Okay. Well, I had 8, so I'm all right.
I went to LX, I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
What makes the Hayes Jewelers 200 so different is we have qualifying on Friday. And what's unique about it is the drivers get 1 lap around this little bull ring to set their fast time and to try to get to the top of the scoreboard for Saturday's big 200 lap race.
Picked up a second.
Harder than you ever have.
I mean, we picked up a ton, dude. We picked up a ton. Okay, he's 4th. Are we 5th?
Inside.
Yes. I'd rather be 4th, 5th, than 4th.
Right now the sun's right above us, so it's really hot. So the more that sun goes down and the track starts to cool off, and the more tires or the more cars go out with new tires on and put rubber down, the more grippy it's going to be. So you want to wait as long as you can, but at the same time, if you wait too long and you're not across those scales at 7 p.m., you don't get to qualify today, and the best you can start is 11th tomorrow because they only take the top 10 today. Well, if we are, they want the tires.
13.511. Jeremy Gerstner.
What are we doing? You just, nothing?
13.40. Are you not happy with that?
No. I'm trying to be optimistic because I think it's a 200 lap race and we're really good in these long races and we know what to do, but this is a car that we haven't run here very much, so we're fighting a very tight condition. The car just won't roll the center. So whenever you go to qualify, that really shows up. So We'll get it. I'm not happy, but we're not gonna quit.
Got some good prizes. Come get the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the 73rd season of racing here at historic Bowman Gray Stadium, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It is a packed house here on a beautiful Saturday night.
I said, is there anybody here at the Madhouse ready to go racing tonight?
The drivers that live by the grace of God, and 600 horsepower, the Hayes Jewelers 200 is green at Bowman Gray Stadium.
And Tim Brown wastes no time going to the front telling everybody, you're going to have to follow me if you want the checkered flag.
My ultimate night would be dominate and kick their damn teeth in on Saturday night. That would mean the world to me. So that's my plan.
You're seeing John Holloman there leading the charge. He is in 4th position, but Holloman is kind of holding up traffic here. He's holding tight to that bottom.
Bowman Gray is very physically demanding. You never stop driving the car hard there. There's no such thing as clean air. You're not in a draft. You don't have a half-mile straightaway to relax. You're always on the wheel.
That's a brand new race car right there. They just finished this race car literally before they towed it here for qualifying yesterday. Snow to the bottom of Jason Myers. Myers goes down low. Snow and Myers spin in turn number 1. Now we're down to brass tacks. Lap traffic is coming up, and $1,000 will be on the line. Oh, and we have trouble. Turn number 1 and 2, John Holloman.
Race car drivers like elephants. They don't forget, man. They never forget. You know, you can rough that guy up and cost him a championship. He'll never race you the same. And I'm definitely one of those guys. You know, I don't hold grudges, but I know in the back of my head who I can race a little harder, who deserves to be raced a little harder. And if they got it coming, then, you know, there'll be a time where to wait till you're behind him and he's leading one night and then take care of business.
Now Tim Brown falling back.
Oh,
3-4
trouble for Tim
positions.
Brown.
He's caught on the outside.
I drive by the seat of my pants. I want to know when I go down in the corner, I kind of close my eyes and I think about it. If I think about it, I close my eyes and I think to myself, okay, it's tight here. Well, tight here is different than tight here. Loose here is different than loose here. There's nobody in that garage that knows that better than me in my car.
Comes John Boy, but when he got to the throttle, it looks like maybe electrical problem or something. Did you see that? The 22?
There's a miss. There's a miss.
He's getting pushed back to pit road, and it looks like his night's done.
Take the air cleaner off and see if we got fuel, see if it's pumping.
Pull the spark plug wire and check to see if it has any fire. Yes. Check to see if it has any fire. Pull the spark plug out.
It's go time. If anybody has anything to mount a charge on Danny Bone, it's got to be now. Oh, John Holloman goes around.
Right in.
5th place runner John Holloman has spun his number 69. It looks like there is some damage to the left front of that number 69 machine.
White flags in the air one time around.
Fans, stand on your feet. Round of applause. The Hayes Jewelers 200 goes to Danny Bone. And the winner of the Hayes Jewelers 200, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Danny Bone.
I saw my left front upper A-frame snap in half, so I mean, we were running top 5. We were running top 5 with no left front upper A-frame, which is unheard of here, man. I was just driving my guts out.
There's a few things, man. It's just new car blues, and we're going to work on it and come back. You know, we're not going to give up.
It just makes it hard to, you have to, instead of the car turning, I have to turn it for it. And then your tires don't like it. It gets angry.
You've got to be physically fit to drive these cars. You also have to be more mentally fit than ever, because you have split-second decisions to make. And those decisions that you make in that moment is what defines you as a race car driver. Anybody can do it, but how you react to that split-second decision for that given night is what defines the great race car drivers from just race car drivers.
Somebody could come here, they can go do their job all week, okay? They start thinking about house payments, car payments, whatever they got to do. They come over here, they don't have to think about anything. All that can stay at home. They come here and think about their driver in that car and what happens. They just leave everything behind. This is their free zone. Do what you want to do what you think you want to do, and show your expressions. Fans want to walk away here on Saturday night and say, I can't believe I just saw that. Can you believe what just happened? I cannot believe I saw that.
Here we go. He's drilled them. Are you not entertained? This is chaos here at Bowman Gray Stadium.